All right, you're back in the cipher with the Podheads. It's me, JB Perez, in the cipher with Frank the Tank and C Money. Thank you once again for sticking with us here in the cipher. Guys, before we get on, we said it in the commercial. I'm so mad at myself we didn't do it in the beginning of the show, Frank the Tank. I think it's the most important thing of today. Today's Frank the Tank's birthday. Happy birthday, Frank the Tank.
Oh, shucks. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Happy birthday to me, the big 3-5. Triple D. So, it's 35. To be honest with you, other than my back issues, 35, my 30s. I like my 30s. I think that if I could go back now and tell my 25-year-old self something, I'd probably smack myself around a bit,
Sure.
I'm a lot wiser now and a lot more patient. So right where I need to be. I'm happy. 30's the new 20, baby.
Hell yeah. Can't wait to our 40s. Happy birthday, Frank the Tank. All right, let's keep it moving, guys. We said we're going to talk UFC. And before we get into all the news coming out of the UFC, because there's a lot of stuff, I found myself watching UFC. ESPN Plus has all the old UFCs. And I was bored one day and I just pressed play on UFC 1 through like 13, bro. And I had a blast. Like,
really? Yeah.
Like the first 3 UFCs were great to me because there were no rules. Like this was a street fight. You got a guy, you got a 6'7" karate guy kick a sumo guy in the face and his tooth fly out. UFC 1, like I'm telling you, the first fight, the dude gets kicked in the face, his tooth flies out. A sumo guy versus a skinny white guy, it was nuts. And Shamrock was in there. I mean, these are old guys. Dan Severn, but Royce Gracie, people know Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. This was when Brazilian, I said Brazilian. I don't mean no disrespect. This was when Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu found the world stage because he won UFC 1, he won UFC 2. He had to get out of UFC 3 for injury and then did some exhibition against Ken Shamrock. But anyways, long story short, UFC 1 through 4 were wild, man. The beginning days of UFC were like a little rough to watch if you have your kids around because people were getting groin shots, getting punched in the nuts, as a technique to get out of here.
They had to change. They had to change the game, right? It's much more. It's much. How do I say? It's come a long way from those days, right? There's a lot of rules designed today, even though it's a brutal sport, to protect the fighters because there was a time where they were risking getting shut down. No.
That's exactly right. It's such a wild west thing. Every show they had to introduce new rules because they didn't know what to expect. A guy got kicked, another guy literally choked a guy out, squeezed his damn throat out and choked him out. That's unbelievable. Groin shots, pulling of hair, kicks to the face. It was crazy. But speaking of changes, see money, bro. UFC and Fight Island, Mortal Kombat. Here we go, right?
Yeah, it's a dope card too, man. I'm excited. It's so crazy that they're actually doing this, and Dana White's gonna live on the island, he said, for at least a month. I mean, imagine just that kind of life. I guess.
Where is it? Where's the island? It's not in U.S. territory.
No, Abu Dhabi, right? Yeah. Abu Dhabi. They've had cards in this location before, but it does happen to be an island. It's one of those man-made islands in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, and does this affect the rules at all?
No. The only reason that the UFC is doing a Fight Island is because of the corona. A lot of Khabib, specifically thinking of Khabib, but a lot of international fighters could not get travel visas to the U.S. or to a lot of European countries because of COVID. So Dana White was like, where the fuck can I do this in the world where people are going to be chill about this? Abu Dhabi, here we go. Fight Island, 4 cards, a bunch of really good fights there.
What kind of, how is this regulated, right? Is there, right, when you fight in Las Vegas, you've got to get a license, right? So somebody in each state or whatever has to give the okay for the fight to take place.
Yeah, I mean, in every state they have a commission, but every country has their own fighting commission. They fought in Japan.
Okay, but what I'm saying
is,
what's to say these guys having their own, they're having their own island, don't get 2 old ass guys who shouldn't be fighting, or 2 people, what's to say that something dangerous or something illegal doesn't take.
I don't think. I think you're okay. I said Mortal Kombat. I don't think Mortal Kombat's actually going to happen. It's just a venue. They call it Fight Island. It's just a place to have a UFC event. It's gonna be like the pay-per-view you watched 2 weeks ago. It's gonna be the exact same thing, just in Abu Dhabi. They call it Fight Island because it's cool and made us dream of Mortal Kombat, but it ain't gonna be nothing special.
Bro, I give it the first day. I give it the 3 UFC events there before some kind of drama on that island unfolds.
Yeah, one gets eaten by a shark or some shit.
Somebody fights. You're on an island, bro.
It's an island. You're outside. Yeah, it's gonna be an island paradise.
It's not like, oh my God, I'm gonna get on my jet and take off or go party. Everywhere everybody's gonna party is gonna be the same place. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it gets stormed by like villagers or pirates or some shit.
There won't be no paparazzi or fans around.
The July 11th card, though, dude, it's Kamaru Usman, Gilbert Burns, Volkanovski versus Max Holloway, Peter Yan versus Jose Aldo, Jessica Andrade versus Rose Namajunas, and Amanda Ribas versus Paige Van.
So that's a rematch. The Volkanovski against Max Holloway is a direct rematch. That's a fight that just happened.
Jessica and Rose. I can't wait.
Yeah.
For
So
that,
the Peter Yan and the Aldo fight is to fill the void that Cejudo left.
Now is Aldo making like a comeback? I haven't heard from him in a while.
He shouldn't be getting it, bro. He shouldn't be getting the fight. They're doing it like I feel like they feel bad. Like he shouldn't be getting this, but they feel bad.
Supposed to be like the guy until
Conor, dude.
McGregor just stopped him in his tracks. But I mean, he was the guy. He was considered one of the best fighters.
He still is
in MMA, and so that's why I'm like, damn, one bad loss, I never understood why they never rematched that because you got lucky, bro. You got lucky. He caught him at an awkward angle. I guarantee it doesn't happen like that if they fought again. Now maybe there's. A lot has changed, but still.
I doubt it, dude. I'm over Conor's hype now. This retire, I'm back, retire. He did it 3 times in 4 years or something. Like it's just. I get it.
Mention that because it's Conor with Jones, Cejudo, now Masvidal.
It's all about money, bro. They feel like they're the God's gift to UFC. Listen, I understand. Even Dana White said it. Even Dana White says, listen, I understand COVID-19 got everybody just feeling on edge about their future, about their, we're trying to fill these seats. You know what I mean? We're just trying to put an event. It's not about paying me these max monies. You understand? Like it's just about putting the event. So you err on the
side of UFC. It's like
I do. The reports say Conor McGregor turned one down. So is it about money or is it about fighting? Because I think Dana White and the UFC right now it's about fighting. They need to put these cards out for the people, for me, for the bias, because I enjoy it.
No, they need to put these cards out for that ESPN
You're a
contract.
Billionaire.
Exactly, but that's what
they don't give a fuck about the fans, bro. They're trying to put this out.
It's easy to say it's all about the fight when you're a billionaire. When you're a fighter who is not a millionaire, who has to fight to make money. I can understand a guy wanting to make more. Let me put it like this. I weighed more on, and I want to see money. You're probably the most experienced MMA watcher here, so I want your take on this because I have a conflicting take on JB here. I understand, and a few weeks ago I've agreed with your side of the argument. But then I heard Jorge Masvidal talk about how UFC fighters make less than 18% of the share of the revenue off of these events. You know what I mean? Now, NBA players, I think, make like 50% of the money made by the NBA. Like it's, broken across their contracts, which is why you got B- players are getting max deals. The NFL, they make over 45, I think like 47%. MLB, those guys you already know get ridiculous contracts. So now you're talking about these guys who are literally putting their lives on the line every time they step into the octagon. They're it's a tough sport, and they're getting not even 20% of the share. So I side on the side of the fighters, like on the side of the fighters. Everyone knows that a fighter in any sport is probably one of the most high risk, shortest careers, period. If you got 10 good years in you in a fighter, you've had a great career. It's very rare the Anderson Silvas, the GSPs, all those guys. But damn well, if you could put in 10 years as a fighter, you're successful. You know what I mean? So these guys know that once their 20s are up, once their 30s are up, what are they going to do? $2 million ain't going to cut it if that's all you made it.
This ain't football, bro. This is fighting. Like this is they don't have a union of fighters.
That's
You know what I mean?
And that's the problem. They're going to need to step together. Everybody's fighting one another, so nobody wants to work together. But they need to unionize or do something because according to what the last time it sold, the UFC's worth $4 billion. So I don't want to hear nothing about how they're not making big money, I'm sure they're not making NBA, NFL money, but they're making enough money to pay their fighters more.
If I understand,
they're corporate, bro. The UFC is all corporate now. Once the Fertitta brothers left and they sold it, and now there's like celebrities that are shareholders. Like I said, one of the Red Hot Chili Peppers guys owns a share now of the UFC. So they're so corporate and streamlined now. When they took the sponsorships away from the fighters too, if you remember, like in the early 2000s, they had tons of logos on their banners, on their shorts.
Point. They can't make money. There's no way for them to make any extra money.
So you have to make a choice, right? You either have to go the Anderson Silva route and you have to be a phenom where you get away with not really talking trash because you're just an animal, which good luck because that's God-given gift.
Once in a generation.
Or you have to be Colby Covington and be a good fighter, but that's not good enough, and you literally have to plan out a character and
talked
create
about it on
a
the
character.
last show. Like maybe it's the COVID thing, but it's just like right now, I don't care about the rankings, bro. I want to see a fight that's gonna make me go, "Oh, I just watched UFC 1 through 4. I need that right now."
So you don't care about the name as long as two guys in there can fight.
I'm okay in the fight game. I'm okay if you get paid. If you're good, I'm sorry that your life is in danger. You know what I mean? I'm not a fighter. I'm never going to be a fighter. I'm sorry your life is in danger, but if you suck at fighting, you are not going to make all this money.
I understand that. Right. Here's one of the things that Masvidal said, though, and this is what really stuck with me because I totally get what you're saying, JB, but these guys talk about they bust their ass for 10 years, okay, trying to get to that point. They get it. Then they're champion. Then they realize, oh, my God, I'm the champion. I made it to the mountaintop, and where's my payday? I've worked my ass off for this payday. I'm the champ. I'm supposed to get paid now. This is supposed to be my life-changing moment.
It's bittersweet.
That's true.
The champs make money, though, bro. Like, John Jones is a multimillionaire. Connor's a millionaire. Habib's a millionaire. GSP's a millionaire.
But look at those household names, though. Masvidal?
Sure.
Masvidal's not making that kind of money.
But in my defense, I guess because
I'm not making that money.
I guess because I'm broke. But to me, Masvidal makes like 300 something K a fight, I think. Like, bro, if you can't live off that even just a year, cry me a fucking river. Like,
you said it's a name. You said it's a name. He's not a household name yet, but he will. Guys, got to go to break. I'm on the clock. So thank you for sticking with us. Make sure you subscribe. WJChen102james.com. Give him that much big shout out. Thank you very much. We'll be back with the Week in Weed. See ya.